Hello and welcome back for another video in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Hope you're all doing well. Today you join me for part 2 of my guide in the new Fenix A321, and we're picking up pretty much from where we left part 1 on our taxi to runway 4 left at Nice Côte d'Azur Airport. And if you did miss part 1, we covered setting up the plane from cold and dark using GSX to load the aircraft along with the custom pushback features, and I'll put a link to that in the description below, so do consider checking that out. But for today we are focusing on what is a pretty stunning departure from here in Nice on the Irma 7 Alpha SID, and for this video we're going to be following our takeoff and climb procedure up until we reach our cruise. So as we approach our hold short, let's hop inside the flight deck and get started. Right, so here we are at our hold short for runway 04 left, so we'll bring that to a stop and we'll have a quick check of our overhead panel. We'll pop our strobes on, turn our runway turn-off lights on, landing lights can go on, and our nose wheel light can go to takeoff. Seatbelt signs are all set, so let's give the cabin crew a quick bong, and we will set our TCAS to TARA, and one last check of our ECAM. So takeoff config all looks good. Okay, we are about ready to go then. And I'll quickly pop down to the EFB to get our departure chart on screen, just so we can follow that on our way out. And we are looking for the Irma 7 Alpha SID, which is just there. So let's give that a quick favourite, and we'll zoom in a little bit as well so we can follow that quite easily. And we did brief this in part 1, so I won't do it again now, but that's a basic overview of our departure. Okay, brakes released then, and let's line up. Just give it a little bit of throttle just to get us rolling. Here we go. And I'm just going to keep it as smooth as I can in the turn. I must admit I do find taxiing in the A320s a little bit trickier than most planes. I don't know whether it's my rudder pedals or I need to tweak some sensitivities or something, but yeah, it just feels a little bit sensitive. Might be something for me to look at, but we'll go with it for today. So here we are, runway 04 left, so that's all looking nice, and let's line it up as close to the centre line as I can. Here we go. I'll bring it to a halt there, and we'll do one last check of the overhead panel. That's all looking good. Right, let's get on our way then. So, thrust levers forward. We're just going to hold it on the brakes till we get to about 40% thrust, and then we'll release the brakes. And throttles to the flex gate position. And here we go. Again, just holding that centre line as best I can. And we do just need to be a little bit careful in the rotate, that we don't tail strike in the 321. It is that a little bit longer. And V1 rotate, V2. That's a positive rate gear up. And I'm just going to continue to hand fly this first turn, and then we will engage our autopilot. And thrust levers to the climb gate, and autopilot 1 engaged. And we'll start retracting our flaps and go flaps 1. And we can also now disarm the ground spoilers. Let's just double check with our charts that we're heading out in the right direction. So we're approaching Nice 047. That looks fine. And we've now passed 2,500 feet. Let's just have a look how we're doing outside. We can see the landing lights are still on, so we'll switch those off shortly. Let's just take in this fantastic Lufthansa livery. It is an absolute design classic and probably my favourite of all time. I'm a man of simple pleasures. Look at that. Right, let's switch some lights off then. We can now turn our runway turn off lights and our nose wheel lighting off as well. We'll leave our landing lights on for now till we're through 10,000 feet. And we can see we are now approaching Nice 064, where we need to be above 5,500 feet, which we're going to make easily. We're currently at 5,300 and we can go to standard pressure. There we go. And we will also go to standard pressure on the first officer's side. Okay. Let's just flip our lower E-cam to our engine display so we can monitor that. And if we hop outside, we should be able to see the airfield. There it is down below us. And we're going to continue our turn right over the coast and up towards the Alps. We're just approaching another constraint at our Orcac waypoint, where we need to be at or above flight level 70, max 210 knots, which we've already made because we're just approaching 9,000. And we're now through 9,300 feet. Let's get our landing lights turned off. There's the click spot, there we go, off. And we'll also switch our seatbelt signs off, let the kids in the back stand up. There we go. Everything else is looking pretty good. Right. Time for a bit more sightseeing then. Let's hop outside. Look at that. So you can just see runway 04 left there is where we've just departed from. That does look absolutely stunning. And also in the distance you've got Monaco there, just a little further around the coastline. Okay, so we are through 11,500 feet now, and we're going to level off at 13,000. So let's wind in our cruise altitude now, which was flight level 360. So we'll wind that all the way around to 36,000. There we go. Okay, that is us well on our way to our cruise then, as we make our way over the stunning French Alps. So I'm going to end part 2 there. Hope you enjoyed that. Be sure to join me for the final part of my Fenix A321 guide, where we'll complete our flight into Frankfurt with a full descent, approach and landing. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, give it a like, subscribe, and I will see you in part 3 for our descent. Thanks very much for watching. Bye bye.